James Gay, CEO of Iccm Solutions. Iccm sells something called eService Desk, that is a technology that's based on the Metastorm platform, and it's in line with ITIL best practice. There is a set of standards around the IT infrastructure library that ensures that you have a set idea of what needs to be logged through the help desk, through an incident, a problem, and also through changes as well. We started out as an independent reseller of help desk solutions. And we used to resell some of the key players within our marketplace. And we went to look out there to see if we could do it ourselves. We looked at a number of normal suspects, the VBs, the Delphis of the world, and we thought Metastorm would give us a competitive edge around the business process tool. eService Desk is a number of different modules. Those modules start with something called incident management. Incident management is where you record faults about the things that you've got within your organization. Typically, they are IT related with eService Desk, but they can be facilities, estate management, HR or finance. Once you've logged a call about that fault, you can then go into what we call problem management. And that's where you can say, is the incident isolated or is it part of a bigger problem? And if it is part of a bigger problem, you start looking at problem control and how you can reduce problems. And that's a really effective way of being able to look at a customer base and say, we have X number of incidents raised each week. How do we ensure that that's not repetitive and we can cut down on that? So that's what happens with problem control. From problem control, you can say, is it then part of effectively needs a change? So then we go into the change management module. And the change management module then looks at a structured way of making changes and then updates what we call configuration management. That's the assets and inventory within the organization. Now around that we have a customer portal, an engineer portal, things like survey and satisfaction management, to ensure that you're getting feedback from the customer, and also knowledge bases in order that teams within the organization can actually get the right knowledge at the right time and ensure the best business process is invoked at the right time. It's truly out of the box. It doesn't require any tinkering. It's something that we can deploy within a 5-day period, and you can get up and running traditionally with a phase one that's the login of calls, a customer portal, and management reporting around that as phase one. And then we look to new phases for different modules as and when they're required with the customer. Okay. We support all of the applications, even applications that customers choose to actually change themselves. We do that through a help desk, but also we offer best practice as well. So we want our customers to come to us and speak to us about the problems they're having. In some cases, you're trying to go down an ITIL best practice framework, and customers don't know how to do that. So we also have a side of Iccm that's a consulting arm that allows you to talk about what you're trying to achieve and make sure the technology is in line with the objectives of the business at the same time. It ranges dramatically, and we have some small customers as the sort of SME marketplace that use it for external support, and also some multinational organisations that use it for change management or help desk through to a global environment. Very easy. I mean, as well as the out-of-the-box solution that comes on Metastorm, we really do put a lot of focus around the professional services and how we deploy this. So what we have is a pre-installation that sets the expectations of the customers and then also aligns what they're trying to get from the business. We then deploy the technology, and on an ongoing basis we have a really defined methodology to make sure they get the maximum amount from their investment in the technology in the first place. If you were looking at a service desk implementation, we have a very defined product set that comes out of the box. Some customers wouldn't even know that it's based on Metastorm. It's simply a tool set that competes within the marketplace. So we have something called a pink verification that's a global accredited standard of best practice within our industry. And eService Desk has that pink verification. Again, it would depend. I mean, if it was a government client, they might want to use our service desk to look at all of the interactions with a citizen. in order that they'd log that information, and then they would look at specific processes around environmental issues or benefits around council tax, a whole host of things. Whereas if it was a traditional IT service desk, the IT service desk would be specifically used for logging all calls, resources, tasks, changes around the IT department within an organisation. And that has huge benefits around doing that around a best practice framework, because it ensures something can be deployed in addition to being deployed quickly. They're getting a huge amount of return when it comes to actually logging these calls. They can look at things like forward schedule of changes for the organisation. They can look at how many people are logging what, and in addition, how much that's costing the company. We've got a client that's a large city financial indexing company that's extremely well known. They've chosen the technology really to unify a number of service desks that they've got. So they're London based, but also based in the States, Europe, and also Australasia. And what they had is lots of separate service desks that were logging calls. And what we've done is brought that all into one central repository where every call, every task, every incident is all addressed through the single service desk solution. And that's made a huge benefit. And now they see that the sub-processes like the levers, the starters, the things that quite often IT have to do, but have to do with involvement with HR, with finance and other departments. And they use the Metastorm product to do exactly that, define their own business processes, but they do have an out-of-the-box solution that's based out of each service desk, and then they can carry on looking at their bespoke processes.